All right, today we're diving deep into a truly incredible book, Arundhati Roy's The Ministry of Utmost Happiness. This is a massive, sprawling novel, I know, so what we're going to do is break it down and really get into its most powerful themes and symbols to see what makes it tick.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the big, chaotic world of the novel, what's called Dunia. Then we'll look at the internal battles. From there, we'll find a very strange kind of paradise in a graveyard. And finally, we'll zoom all the way in on one tiny but super important symbol of hope. It's a great way to see how Roy puts this whole amazing story together.
All right, first up, the world outside. This is the huge, chaotic backdrop for everything that happens. And in the book, it's got a very specific name.
And that name is Dunia. Now, you got to understand, Dunia isn't just the setting. It's like a character in itself. It's this living, breathing force. It's the violent, messy, fast-changing reality of the world the characters are living in, and it's constantly pushing and pulling and, well, battering them.
So what is this Dunya made of? Well, it's a whole lot of chaos. You've got everything from Hindu-Muslim riots to the insurgency in Kashmir. And then there's this idea of the cost of modernization. You know, these huge projects like dams and highways that are supposed to be about progress, but end up just steamrolling people's lives. It's a world just full of conflict, where violence is coming from the state, from militants, from basically every direction.
Okay, but here's where Arundhati Roy's writing is just so brilliant. She shows us that this chaos, this dunya, it doesn't just stay out there. No way. It gets inside. It seeps into the minds and hearts of the characters, and it starts a whole other war, the war within.
And this quote from the character Anjum just nails it. The riot is inside us. The war is inside us. Think about that. She's basically saying that these massive national conflicts, they're not just something you see on TV. For people on the margins, people like her, those conflicts become a part of you. They become these deeply personal, internal battles over who you are, what you've been through, and where you belong.
So let's break that down. You have the dunya on one side, right? It's all about big, abstract things. Politics, power, nationalism. But then you look at the characters' inner worlds, and the focus is completely different. It's about survival. It's about love, and just trying to find some peace. So while the world is fighting over borders and ideology, they're fighting for their own sanity. The big war outside literally creates a riot inside.
And this really is the heart of the novel. It asks this huge question. If the world outside is broken, and you feel broken on the inside, where do you go? Where can the broken possibly find a home? Is there any sanctuary at all?
Well, the answer the book gives us is, honestly, it's pretty stunning, and it's completely unexpected. It says that maybe, just maybe, you can find a home in the one place you would never, ever think to look. A graveyard.
So one of our main characters, Anjum, who is a hijra, a third-gender person, she literally builds her home in an old graveyard. And what does she name it? She calls it Jannat. And Jannat literally means paradise or heaven. It's incredible, right? In this place of death, she carves out this amazing pocket of life. It becomes a real sanctuary for anyone who just can't fit into the harsh world of dunya.
And what's so amazing about Jannat is just how inclusive it is. I mean, we're talking radically inclusive. It's a home for other hijras, for orphans, for political outcasts. Even animals and ghosts are welcome. The normal rules just don't apply. Life and death, human and animal, it all blurs together. It's this beautiful, illegal community built on forgotten land, basically telling the dunya and all its rules to get lost.
Okay, so we've gone from the giant, chaotic Dunya to this incredible sanctuary, Jannat. Now, the novel does something amazing. It zooms our focus way, way down to one tiny, final, and honestly really moving symbol of what it means to have hope.
A dung beetle. Yep, you heard me right, a dung beetle. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, this tiny, humble creature is key. Roy uses it to basically boil down the entire novel's philosophy on how to survive. So think about what a dung beetle does. First, it finds value in waste, right? It lives off of what everyone else throws away. Second, it literally creates life from decay. It rolls up all that refuse into a ball to feed its babies. And third, it's just so resilient. It just keeps pushing, tirelessly moving forward. And that is a perfect metaphor for the characters in this book. They take the scraps, the broken pieces that the world has discarded, and they build a life, a future out of it. They just keep rolling forward, no matter what.
And there's this gorgeous line near the end of the book that sums this all up. How to tell a shattered story.
By slowly becoming everybody. No, by slowly becoming everything. That's it, right there. To heal a shattered world, you have to embrace all the shattered pieces. You have to become everyone, everything, just like the community in Jannat. And just like that little dung beetle gathering up the world's mess to make something new.
So the novel leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. What does it actually mean to find hope? Not by looking up at the stars for some grand answer, but by looking down at the dirt. It completely flips our idea of hope on its head. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, real happiness and resilience aren't found in big ideas or powerful nations, but right down here, in the humble, messy, overlooked corners of the world where life, somehow, just refuses to give up.